Numbers chapter 3. Here is the story of the family line of Aaron and Moses. It belongs to the time when the Lord spoke to Moses at Mount Sinai. Aaron's oldest son was Nadab. Aaron's other sons were Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. Those were the names of Aaron's sons. They were the anointed priests. They were given authority to serve the Lord as priests. But Nadab and Abihu made an offering to the Lord by using fire that wasn't allowed, so they died in front of him. That happened in the desert of Sinai. They didn't have any sons. Only Eleazar and Ithamar served as priests while their father Aaron was living. The Lord spoke to Moses. He said, "Bring the men of the tribe of Levi to Aaron the priest. They will help him. They must work at the tent of meeting for Aaron and for the whole community. They must do what needs to be done at the holy tent. They must take care of everything connected with the tent of meeting. When they do, they are acting for all the Israelites. Give the Levites to Aaron and his sons. They are the men of Israel who must be given completely to him. Appoint Aaron and his sons to serve as priests. Anyone else who approaches the sacred tent must be put to death." The Lord also said to Moses, "I have taken the Levites from among the Israelites. I have taken them in the place of a son born first to each woman in Israel. The Levites belong to me. That's because every male born first to a mother is mine. In Egypt I struck down all the males born first. I did it when I set apart for myself every male born first to a mother in Israel. That is true for men and animals alike. They belong to me. I am the Lord." The Lord spoke to Moses in the desert of Sinai. He said, "Count the Levites by their family groups. Count every male a month old or more." So Moses counted them. He did just as the word of the Lord had commanded him. The sons of Levi were Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. The major families from Gershon were Ribni and Shimei. The major families from Kohath were Amram, Izhar, Hebron, and Uzziel. The major families from Merari were Mahli and Mushi. These were the major families of the Levites. The families of the Ribni and Shimei belonged to the family of Gershon. All the males a month old or more were counted. There were 7,500 of them. The families of Gershon had to camp on the west side. They had to camp behind the holy tent. The leader of the families of Gershon was Eleazar, the son of Ariel. Here are the duties of the families of Gershon at the tent of meeting. They were responsible for taking care of the holy tent and its coverings. They took care of the curtain at the entrance to the tent of meeting. They took care of the curtains of the courtyard, and they took care of the curtain at the entrance to the courtyard. The courtyard was all around the holy tent and altar. The families of Gershon also took care of the ropes. In fact, they had to take care of everything connected with the use of all those things. The families of Amram, Izhar, Hebron, and Uzziel belonged to the family of Kohath. All the males a month old or more were counted. There were 8,600 of them. The families of Kohath were responsible for taking care of the sacred tent. They had to camp on the south side of the holy tent. The leader of the families of Kohath was Elizaphan, the son of Uzziel. They were responsible for taking care of the Ark of the Covenant law. They took care of the table for the holy bread. They took care of the lampstand and 2 altars. They took care of the things used for serving in the sacred tent. They also took care of the inner curtain. In fact, they had to take care of everything connected with the use of all those things. The chief leader of the Levites was Eleazar. He was the son of Aaron, the priest. Eleazar was appointed over those responsible for taking care of the sacred tent. The families of Mahli and Mushi belonged to the family of Merari. All the males a month old or more were counted. There were 6,200 of them. The leader of the families of Merari was Zuriel, the son of Abihail. The families of Merari had to camp on the north side of the holy tent. They were responsible for taking care of the frames of the tent. They took care of each crossbars, posts, and bases. They took care of each oar surprise. In fact, they had to take care of everything connected with the use of all those things. They also took care of the posts of the courtyard around the holy tent, and they took care of the bases, tent stakes, and ropes. Moses and Aaron and Aaron's sons had to camp to the east of the holy tent. They had to camp toward the sunrise in front of the tent of meeting. They were responsible for taking care of the sacred tent. They had to do it for the Israelites. Anyone else who approached the tent would be put to death. The total number of the Levite males was 22,000. They were counted family by family. Every male a month old or more were counted. Moses and Aaron counted them, just as the Lord had commanded. The Lord said to Moses, "Count all the Israelite males born first in their families. Count all those a month old or more. Make a list of their names. Take the Levites for me in their place, and take the livestock of the Levites in place of all the male animals in Israel born first to their mothers. I am the Lord." So Moses counted all the oldest sons in Israel. He did just as the Lord had commanded him. There were 22,273 of those sons a month old or more that were listed by name. The Lord also said to Moses, "Take the Levites in place of all the males born first in Israel. Also take the livestock of the Levites in place of the livestock of Israel. The Levites belong to me. I am the Lord, but there are 273 more males born first in Israel than there are male Levites. Collect 2 ounces of silver for each of them. Weigh it out according to the standard weight used in the sacred tent. Give the silver to Aaron and his sons. It will buy the freedom of the additional sons of Israel." So Moses collected the silver from the additional sons in Israel to buy their freedom. The Levites took the place of all the others. Moses collected 35 pounds of silver. It was weighed out according to the weight used in the sacred tent. Moses collected it from the oldest son in Israel. He gave the silver to Aaron and his sons. He did just as the Lord had commanded him. Chapter 4. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "Count the Levites who belong to the families of Kohath. Make a list of them family by family. Count all the men 30 to 50 years old. Those are the men who must come and serve at the tent of meeting. Here is the work the men of Kohath must do at this tent of meeting. They must take care of the things that are very holy. When the camp is ready to move, Aaron and his sons must go into the tent. They must take down the curtain that hides the ark where the tablets of the covenant law are kept. They must cover the ark with the curtain, and they must cover that with a strong leader. They must spread a solid blue cloth over the leader, and they must put the pours in place. They must spread a blue cloth over the table for the holy bread. They must put the plates, dishes, and bowls on the cloth. They must also put the jars for drink offerings on it. The bread that is always kept there must remain on it. They must spread a bright red cloth over everything. Then they must cover it with a strong leader, and they must put the pours of the table in place. They must get a blue cloth. With it, they must cover the lampstand that gives light. They must also cover each lamp's trays and wick cutters, and they must cover all each jars. The jars are for the olive oil used in the lampstand. Then Aaron and his sons must wrap the lampstand and all the things used with it. They must cover it with a strong leader, and they must put it on a frame to carry it. They must spread a blue cloth over the gold altar for burning incense. They must cover that with a strong leader, and they must put the pours of the altar in place. They must get all the things used for serving in the sacred tent. They must wrap them in a blue cloth. They must cover them with a strong leader. Then they must put those things on a frame to carry them. They must remove the ashes from the bronze altar for burnt offerings. They must spread a purple cloth over it. Then they must place all the tools on it. The tools are used for serving at the altar. They include the pans for carrying ashes. They also include the meat forks, shovels, and sprinkle bowls. Aaron and his sons must cover the altar with a strong leader, and they must put each pours in place. Aaron and his sons must cover all the holy things that belong to the holy tent. Only then are the men of the Kohath to come and carry everything. They must do so only when the camp is ready to move. But they must not touch the holy things. If they do, they will die. The men of Kohath must carry everything in the tent of meeting. Eleazar the priest will be in charge of the olive oil for the light. He is the son of Aaron. Eleazar will be in charge of the sweet-smelling incense. He will be in charge of regular grain offering and the anointing oil. He will be in charge of the entire holy tent. He will also be in charge of everything in it. That includes all those things that belong to the tent. The Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron. He said, "Make sure that the Kohath families are not destroyed from among the Levites. I want them to live and not die when they come near the very holy things. So here is what you must do for them. Aaron and his sons must go into the sacred tent and tell each man what to do. They must tell each man what to carry. But the men of Kohath must not go in and look at the holy things. They must not look at them even for a moment. If they do, they will die." The Lord said to Moses, count the families of Gershon, make a list of them family by family, count all the men 30 to 50 years old. Those are the men who must come and serve at the tent of meeting. Here is how the families of Gershon must serve. They must carry things. They must carry the curtains of the holy tent of meeting. They must carry each covering and outside covering of a strong leader. They must carry the curtains that cover the entrance to the tent of meeting. They must carry the curtains of the courtyard. The courtyard is all around the holy tent and altar. They must carry the curtain for the entrance. They must carry the ropes. They must also carry all the supplies used for any purpose in the tent. The families of Gershon must do everything that needs to be done with those things, for their work must be done under the direction of Aaron and his sons. That includes carrying and everything else they do. Aaron and his sons must tell them what to carry, and that will be their work. It is what the families of Gershon must do at the tent of meeting. They must work under the direction of Ithamar the priest. He is the son of Aaron. Count the families of Merari, count them family by family, count all the men 30 to 50 years old. Those are the men who must come and serve at the tent of meeting. Here is the work they must do at the tent of meeting. They must carry the frames of the holy tent. They must carry each crossbar, post, and bases. They must also carry the post of the courtyard. The courtyard is all around the holy tent, and they must carry the bases for the post as well as their tent stakes and ropes. They must also carry all the supplies and everything connected with their use. Tell each man exactly what to carry. That is the work the families of Merari must do at the tent of meeting. They must work under the direction of Ithamar the priest. He is the son of Aaron. Moses, Aaron, and the leaders of the community counted the men of Kohath. They counted them family by family. They counted all the men from 30 to 50 years old. There were the men who came and served at the tent of meeting. There were 2,750 men. They were counted family by family. That was the total of all the men in the families of Kohath who served at the tent of meeting. Moses and Aaron counted them. They did just as the Lord had commanded through Moses. The men of Gershon were counted family by family. All the men from 30 to 50 years old were counted. There were the men who came and served at the tent of meeting. There were 2,630 men. They were counted family by family. That was the total of the men in the families of Gershon who served at the tent of meeting. Moses and Aaron counted them. They did just as the Lord had commanded. The men of Merari were counted family by family. All the men 30 to 50 years old were counted. They were the men who came and served at the tent of meeting. There were 3,200 men. They were counted family by family. That was the total of the men in the families of Merari. Moses and Aaron counted them. They did just as the Lord had commanded through Moses. So Moses and Aaron counted all the Levites. The leaders of Israel helped them. They counted the Levites family by family. All the men from 30 to 50 years old were counted. There were the men who came and served at the tent of meeting. They were also supposed to carry it. The total number of men was 8,580. Everything was done as the Lord had commanded through Moses. Each man was given his work, and each one was told what to carry. So they were counted just as the Lord had commanded Moses.